There are some people in this world who you never want to get on the wrong side of, while on the outside some of these people may be friendly or calm, and don't let that confuse you. Some of them have spent their entire lives working to become the biggest, the baddest, or the most skilled people in the world, and no matter how tough you think you are, trust me, they can take you down. While you wouldn't want to mess with these incredible examples of human excellence, that doesn't mean their exploits won't absolutely blow your mind. Ready to meet these incredible people? Well, let's get it on. Thomas Wu. Boxing is a dangerous sport that requires a combination of talent and training to become any good at. Thomas Wu seems to have hit the jackpot on talent. At just 21 years old, he was known to many as the fastest puncher in the world, after he created a nearly impossible to replicate online trend called the floating ball challenge, which, if you can't tell by the name, involves punching a ball fast enough to keep it spinning in midair. Not just the speed of Thomas's fist, but their precision and control show that he was born for this sport, which he says he actually got into by accident when looking for a way to gain some hip mobility to help with his baseball career. 8 years of training later, and he's worlds ahead of athletes that have been training for twice as long, with 4 national championship titles to his name. Thomas claims that his current goal is to head to the Olympics and be crowned the best boxer in the world. With hands so fast that his Instagram videos look like they're on fast forward, that goal doesn't seem all that far-fetched. Diamond Dot. There are over 1.3 million men and women enlisted in the United States military, each trained to stay at peak physical and mental performance year-round, which makes it all the more impressive to find out that the first Sergeant Diamond Dot is widely known as the strongest soldier. Looking at his wild and creative workouts, it begins to become clear that Diamond has muscles as hard as diamond. Many people can't even manage a pull-up, but outperform spinning acrobatic ones with ease, can hold huge plates up with nothing but his core, and obviously doesn't suffer from the common problem of being big with no flexibility. He can even do dips with 245 pounds or more than his own bodyweight strapped to his waist, and that's not some personal record, that's just a regular part of his everyday routine. That is an absurd accomplishment. Add on to that wild level of strength and coordination his decade and a half of tactical military training, and this guy can more than likely take down any opponent he comes across in a few hundred different ways. After 16 years of service, Diamond has no intention of slowing down and continues pushing his mental and physical limits in service to his country, and maybe just a little bit for his Instagram followers. Sergei Cyrulnikov. However Sergei arrived at the ideas for his insane viral videos, I'll never understand. I'm very glad that he did, because they're some of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. Just to name a few of the seemingly impossible feats of raw strength and power he's shown on, Sergei has pulled a 180-ton train with his body alone, lifts through iron chains and padlocks just by flexing his muscles, kept not 1, but 2 planes from taking off with just his arms, and that's barely scratching the surface. Whether or not he'll ever find something he can't do is yet to be determined, but the Kazakhstan phenomenon has certainly proven that he's pretty much the closest thing we've got to a real-life superhuman walking around right now. Through his tireless training and thirst to perform unthinkable feats, Sergei has gotten at least 4 world records under his belt, and he claims he only started breaking ironically, making a joke out of taking the rankings away from athletes who train their entire lives to earn them. In case you can't tell, anyone who sets world strength records as a joke is probably someone you should go far out of your way to never upset. Islam Badurgov. If you've ever been lucky enough to score a quick selfie with the UFC notorious Conor McGregor, I might have some bad news for you. The person in the photo, Islam Badurgov, while he might have the same tattoos, build and hair colors as McGregor, he actually has been professional McGregor impersonator. Of course, not just anyone can impersonate one of the most skilled fighters on the planet and get away with this. In order to be able to pull off his pranks, Islam really does have to train incredibly hard to have a body that someone would mistake for the Irish champions. He spends most of his time doing street workouts and calisthenics, and he's at the point where he makes certainly hard tricks, like the muscle up in flagpole, seem easy as pie. We're not sure if Conor is aware of his very popular lookalike. It's pretty safe to say that anyone confident enough to risk stealing the image of one of the best fighters on earth is probably not someone you'd ever want to go toe-to-toe with. Karim Doigu. Usually a martial arts master will be able to defeat opponents with their hands or their feet, but Karim Doigu can take on any opponent with nothing more than his shins. While most people's shins are little more than a very painful spot to bump into obstacles with, somehow Karim is insanely tough enough to actually fight with these vital weak points on most humans without showing a shred of discomfort. He's so widely skilled with his shins, in fact, that he actually holds a very unique world record. While mobsters use baseball bats to break people's shins, Kareem uses his shins to break baseball bats, and his crazy run for a Guinness ranking, he managed to break numerous baseball bats using only his shins in 1 minute. That's more than one bat a second. Just watching this makes me wince in pain, but clearly Kareem's years of martial arts training, and probably a dash of mania keep him from feeling anything but exhilaration as he earns his very unique spot in history. And anyone with that kind of power and pain tolerance combined is definitely someone you never want to mess with. Vito Peerbazari. With his ironclad musculature, deep-set expressions, and truly intimidating demeanor, German bodybuilder and actor, Vito Peerbazari certainly cuts an imposing figure, and I suppose that's why he was gassed for his fearsome role in Dogs of Berlin. If you're tricked by that though, that just means he's very good at his job, because Vito is one of the nicest guys around. The German giant dedicates himself to showing off his workout and diet routines, both incredibly important ingredients for maintaining his trademark tough guy look with his fans on his rapidly growing social media. Still, judging by the way he knocks around a punching bag, I still wouldn't want to get on his bad side. Yevgeny Loss. When you see someone with a physique this insane, it should be obvious that you wouldn't want to catch him on a bad day, but just in case you're feeling unsure, just watch how hard Yevgeny Loss can swing a hammer. If that tire were your head, you'd be having a pretty hard time. Thankfully though, this Belarusian behemoth is much more likely to be saving your life than threatening it. Yevgeny works as a firefighter in Belarus and dedicates himself to working out and achieving a peak physique as well as pursuing feats that literally nobody else on earth can complete. We're talking Guinness World Records. Yevgeny holds the world record for most weighted push-ups on uneven bars performed in 1 minute. Pulling off, or should I say pushing up, an unbelievable 53 weighted push-ups in just 60 seconds, absolutely obliterating the previous record of 40. Watching him work out though, this was probably just another day at the park for Yevgeny, and he claims that he's itching to pursue more calisthenic records in the near future. Even though you never want to mess with Yevgeny Loss, you'd definitely be relieved if he were the one rescuing you in an emergency. That's all for today. Don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to our channel.